Hi everyone, I'm Simon Canton,
And I'm Dave Higgins.
and we're going to outline the second episode of season 3 of Greenstar, live on this video. So, without further ado, before I move further, of course, there will be spoilers for everything up to this point, and maybe even things beyond. So you have been warned. So, without further ado, let's go to the outlining bit. So. Here's what I've worked up so far for episode 2. So episode 1, we were a bit short. One thing I've been thinking about that was a little bit worried about was everyone loves topics, intros, and outros. So now we've got Fluffy doing them. I'm a little concerned that people will be going, hey, what the hell? I want Topic to do them. So I was wondering, I was a little concerned with like everyone's favorite character's Topic, the cutting Topic out of the intros and outros, if that was wise.
That's a good thought. We could try doing topic intros and outros. But
like an alternative is that Fluffy does a few episodes and then Topic kind of muscles in on it and says, hey, what do you think you're doing? And takes over the intros and outros again.
that would be funny.
So
like,
I
think people who get on to book 3 are going to like it enough that they'll carry on for a little bit, even if they miss the topic intros. So we probably get a couple of episodes before anyone goes, oh, I'm not going to read this because it hasn't got topic intros. So Topic muscle back in at some point.
Yeah, I would hope that there's more to that people aren't just reading the books with the topic intros. But
I'm hoping not.
Like, I think if maybe once Topic, we catch back up with Topic at some stage, like we're going to deal with Topic's storyline. So maybe Josie can catch back up with him sooner rather than later, and therefore Topic can muscle back in and say, you stupid cat, you're not allowed to do them.
Yeah.
Is it echoing on your end for me or for you from me?
No, it's you're sounding fine.
Oh, okay. It's just a minor echo that I can barely hear. So it was just if it was annoying you.
No.
Okay. So episode 2, what should Fluffy talk about? So at the end of episode 1, they've just met Seth, if I remember. Oh no, let's see. I better open it so that we can look. I have to remind myself so I wrote it on Sunday and Monday. So I just have to refresh my memory. So the last thing for Josie was Seth being in the middle of the clearing. Yeah, I think. I don't think there was anything else from Josie after that.
Yeah.
So, so Josie has just met Seth. Do we want to talk about? So Fluffy's just talked about the fact that strange upgrades, nice to have a name, and yeah, and Fluffy having more of a sense of things going on. Like Fluffy already knows that Anik is not some godlike mentor. What Fluffy could get is exasperated with Josie. Do we want, like, I guess there's a danger if Fluffy is all-knowing of dropping plot twists too early. Like the fact that Seth is not really there. I think Josie should figure that out for herself. Yeah. So I don't think we should say that early on.
No. cats sleep for 2/3 of the time.
Yeah.
So I was wondering if Fluffy knows about being a holotainment computer, but doesn't know about being a cat. Can we get some jokes out of the things that happen to cats?
Hmm.
So that so Fluffy finds that his sensors keep trying to shut down, or is that too close to Topic's problem?
Could we say Fluffy? So Fluffy says, "I don't know what happened. I just suddenly went offline for a while."
Mm.
And cats eat often and little rather than seldom and a lot. And now, so
Cats eat twice a day.
oh, really? Oh, okay.
Cats eat when there's food.
Okay. I thought they. Maybe I'm wrong. Like my mother-in-law's cat will just eat like a few mouthfuls and then run off, and then come back for a few mouthfuls and then run off. I thought that was because they ate rodents and small birds and stuff. That it was like a small meal often. Maybe not.
Well, the natural cat eats and eats and eats and eats as long as there's food there, and when the food stops, they go away.
Mm.
So it's really easy to overfeed cats. And some cats graze. There are food designed for cats to graze on.
Like the only. Well, we don't like that was a kind of aside anyway. That so if Fluffy is hungry and kills a bird or something, would that be interesting? And then Fluffy is like has a moral quandary about the fact that he's killed some part of the simulation that he wasn't meant to.
It doesn't necessarily have to be hungry, and cats will pounce on birds.
Yeah.
But,
like if we said that there's a bird fluttering nearby, comes down to rest on a branch, and Fluffy jumps on the bird and kills it before he's even had the chance to think.
Yeah.
And then says, "Oh my God, what have I done?" That was made him being a vital part of this simulation.
Yeah.
If that
works.
Yeah. So Josie doesn't even notice, which she would really. So then we go to Josie's point of view. Josie's hugging Seth. She asks how he got there. Seth doesn't know. He's 7. He says sorry for getting in the clip car and going to see his father. Josie forgives him. Seth says that he was on his way home. Josie is confused but goes with him. Seth leads her through the woods and they emerge onto their street back on Earth. Clip cars are driving by and Josie can see the line for the space elevator. Seth asks if she has a few days off, like she said. Josie says she does. She's happy to see him. Like I wanted to explain why she's not going up in the space elevator and doing her job.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Unless we want her to, but I thought we wanted her to kind of be around Seth more.
Yeah.
She's happy to see him. Josie gets to their front door and opens it with her retinal scan, unless we come up with some more interesting way of her opening the door. other than a key or a fingerprint or
And
a voice.
at times, things will go.
Like it could just open as she gets close by sensing her aura or her metrics, biometrics, or I just thought it might be interesting for her to walk up to the door wondering if it was going to react to whatever the thing is and it actually works. Or it could be a keypad with a number, or, as I say, voice activation, or...
if she sort of sidles up to it in a kind of tentative manner, half expecting it to not open, and then it just works perfectly.
I just thought of something. So a guy in work was saying he got a new phone, and he said that the phone, everything is like gesture based rather than being swiping the touchscreen. So could we make the front door gesture based, that Josie has to do a series of weird gestures in order to get the door to open, that correspond to her code rather than just having a...
Could be, yeah.
So it looks kind of like a New Zealand haka she needs to do in order to open the door.
Yeah.
Yes? No?
But I'm trying to think of how absurd we want it to be, because if it was actually real technology, then it would need to be vaguely accessible. So if you have to do a full like hacker dance.
No, I mean, not as, like, maybe there's 6 gestures.
Yeah.
So she has to, you know, or even like at the end of Blockbusters, they always used to do that little, you know, clap, clap, twist your arms kind of thing.
Yeah.
Because the guy in work was saying he just turned them off instantly because they were really annoying. But yeah, anyway. So the door opens. Anik and Fluffy are waiting by the front gate, but Josie invites them in. The house is just like she left it before the explosion. So it's as if she didn't go up to work, or work went fine or whatever. Do we want the news to be talking about explosions on space stations, or we just say they're like, if she could go to the TV or news channel or whatever and find out that there was no explosions, it's fine. I think it being fine probably makes more sense if this is kind of a fantasy world.
Yeah.
There were no explosions. She makes dinner for all of them and then puts Seth in bed. Fluffy seems happy with leftovers, but Josie thinks she better buy cat food. She talks to Anik. What about? So what should Anik and Josie talk about if they are going to talk? Or we could say Anik just falls straight asleep if we don't want to come up with something. If
Anik falls straight asleep, it's sidesteps us having to come up with a conversation that doesn't give away the fact that Anik doesn't know anything at this point. So we can hold that back for later, make Anik seem more mysterious for a while.
Yeah, or could Anik make Josie do something? So you know the way Luke, Obi-Wan makes him put on the visor so he can't see and then fight against the... Like if she made her clean the apartment blindfolded, so she's walking into the table and, you know, stuff like that, and saying, what's the point of this? And Anik's just saying, You'll find out in due time, or whatever.
Yeah.
And then later finds out that was completely pointless. Is there anything in that, or?
Yeah, I don't know about cleaning. Cleaning blindfolded is funny. What else? Stacking all the cans in the cupboard into a single pyramid.
Mm-hmm.
And what else can reference the whole training montage? Having Josie carry Anik around on her back's a bit too silly, potentially.
So if she cleans the house blindfolded and then stacks all the cans into a pyramid, what else could she do? And then run Anik a bath. And all Anik wanted was for her to run a bath. She says, okay, and closes the door. And then Josie turns around and sees that because she did the apartment blindfolded, it's a complete mess, and her cans are all in the middle of her kitchen, and she has to just spend the next hour cleaning it all up again.
Yeah. That's funny.
Okay. Next morning, Josie walks Seth to school, not trusting her clip car. On the way to school, they pass a shimmering portal hanging between two houses. Josie looks at it for a moment, but Seth distracts her. She leaves him at school and wanders back, staring at the portal on the way past. Back in her house, she tidies up, happy to see it exactly as she remembers it. Well, I don't know if she needs to tidy up again, if she's just tidied up. Back in her house, she relaxes and watches him, or she looks around the house, I guess.
Yeah.
Back in their house, she looks around, happy to see it exactly as she remembers it. Josie relaxes and watching some television. She keeps thinking she should get back to the clearing. When she's just about to go, she realizes she needs to collect Seth. So almost like a time-lapse kind of thing.
Yeah.
That she's just sitting there, and it's like 10 a.m. and to whatever, 3 p.m. or something like that.
If that's the time you pick up 7-year-old children, vaguely think my primary school used to end at 3. So she's picking him up. It'd be 2:30.
Say, I don't know about German schools, but I think the boys were finished about 2:30. So we said 2:15, then she's got 15 minutes to get there.
Yeah.
Something like that. So, Paul. So this is just a check-in to see what, to remind people what happened in the first episode and moving on a little bit. Paul goes to sit on the throne, staring around at the semicircle of dead crew members. He asks where they all came from. Philippe says they've always been there, buried deep in Paul's conscience. Paul says that any rumors he has a conscience are greatly exaggerated. Paul imagines a staff, like staff members, like not a steak.
I got that when the second time I read it through.
Imagines the staff and tells them to escort the crew members out. So he goes back up the stairs to his bedroom to the women waiting for him. One of the women asks what Philippe meant about killing him. Paul says that Philippe was lying. Philippe steps out of a cupboard and says he wasn't lying. Paul curses and calls the guards to take Philippe away. Once Philippe is out of sight, Paul sets his sight in the bed again. Philippe slides out from under it and says he's not going to go away. So basically, I don't know if we want multiple Philippes or it's just that Philippe, they can't destroy things. So I guess there's now 3 Philippes. I guess they just keep making more every time.
Well, if Philippe's sort of Hamlet's ghost thing, then potentially there's only one of them. But as soon as he's off screen, he can appear somewhere else later.
It kind of can teleport, kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Because then we've only got one of them, rather than having the problem that Paul uses up all of his wishes creating Philippe's.
Grant, Elijah, Raina, and Parser are sitting in a dingy bar. Parser was a psychopath.
Yeah.
This is Mecca Raina.
Yeah.
Are sitting in a dingy bar, sipping on drinks in dirty glasses. The bartender shoots Elijah a salute with a rusty robotic hand. Elijah waves back. He asks Raina what Cyberdump is. That was the name I came up with for the place I'm going to infiltrate. So then I had to come up with what they are. That name makes sense. So Raina says they're a digital disposal company. They remove all traces of information from the internet. Elijah asks how they're meant to have so much money. Raina says that the information they deal with is usually sensitive. People would pay to keep it off the news networks. Elijah nods understanding. He asks what the plan is. Raina says first she needs to tell him about the setup. So then we need to come up with unbreakable security for them to break into.
You do like sort of throwing that out there. Yes.
Well,
this bit.
So this is a fictional future, I guess, compared to, like, if we're taking Greenstar as being reality.
Yeah.
So it doesn't necessarily have the same kind of rules as the Greenstar universe, but
some sort of mini game. Is that a bit too meta?
So they play like
There's a lot of games where you hack, you play pipes or Tetris or something like that.
Or matching letters. I just did Grand Theft Auto 5 today, where I was hacking and it was match letters to a grid kind of thing. But we could say that. So we need. Raina's got this, like, she's a heavy essentially in the universe. So we need her to get there locally, I guess, in some way, and preferably Elijah to go too. Otherwise, it'd be kind of boring. He's sitting in an office, hearing about upgraded Raina doing stuff. So if we can get them so that the office, so the place they stored the sensitive information they're looking for, that'd be okay.
Is it?
I'm glad
would it be too silly if it was actually a physical pipe game that he has to actually be there to connect the pipes up?
That's interesting. Yeah, so they could have like a the vacuum tube systems they use in some shops.
Yeah.
To transport money around. So maybe they have vacuum tube system with like a very complicated flow of pipes, and then he has to connect the right pipes up so they go to the next level, and then he connects up the pipes again and they go to the next level and connect up the pipes again, and then they've gotten to a place where maybe Parsa has to wait at that exit of the pipes, and then they have to fight their way back up to put the information into the pipe at the top.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so what I was thinking of as well is, so they need the original information in order to find it on the internet. Like, they presumably use algorithms or something to search for matching data. They wouldn't actually, you don't just go through everything on the internet, that'd be too much. So they have the copy of the original information. So then it's the original information would then go from the vault down to the office place of it, I guess. I guess the vault is the usual thick doors, unbreakable lock. Etc. So, are they going to go in as janitors, or is that too obvious?
Well, what else could they go in as?
I mean, they could register as office workers. Like, say there was say it's an outsourced company that does the, like a temp agency that does the actual searching. So then they could register with the temp agency and go to that office, and then say that they're going on their lunch break or whatever, and instead of going on their lunch break, they have to they've got like, say, a half an hour, and someone is monitoring to make sure they don't go over the amount of time for their lunch break. So they hurry up to the next level and they change the pipes around. They hurry up to the next level and change the pipes around, and then they go up to the vault, and meanwhile Parser stays down at his desk. So now all of the pipes are going to his desk, and he's, I guess the thing they're reading the information off has to be fairly small then, or he has to copy it to something small. So say it's the size of a USB stick kind of thing.
Yeah.
So they're going to send it all to his desk, and he's going to copy it as it comes and then send it back to them. And they're going to put it back in the vault. So then they're going to they have to hack the vault so that the security will be alerted as soon as the vault opens. So they have to send it all down and then get out before security gets back, also putting all the information sticks back. So it looks like the alarm just went off by accident. Yeah. Okay. Just thought that might be a funny line at the end. Elijah says, wait, so we have to skip lunch? So then Reyna. Did you like that joke, or was it terrible? King Arthur and the Knights of the Hell's Angles.
Yeah.
I don't know. Parsa in work beside me thought it was funny, but I don't know. It might be too punny. Anyway, King Arthur and the Knights of the Hells Angles are running up to the parapet, looking down on the motorbikes approaching. Reyna and Elijah go up to join them. 50 bikers are riding across the desert towards them. The bikers have swords and guns. Reyna says that the mix of tech is disorienting. Elijah doesn't understand. Oh yeah, because it's a fake Elijah, I guess. He's just a damsel in distress, essentially. Or a dude in distress. The causeless rebels reach the walls and attack. Oh yeah, I wasn't sure about that name either. Whether that was too stupid. But,
no, I like that.
Oh, okay. So, how can these guys attack a castle on motorbikes? Like, are we going to give them some siege weapons? Like they could have like a demolition. Like they've got motorbikes, so they could have like a demolition ball machine if we really wanted. But that would be kind of drastic. They'd just knock the wall down.
A reverse battering ram? The giant sort of ballista thing. They fire a spike into the gates and then connect their motorcycles up to the pulley and drive away.
Yeah.
You know, I was seeing them as kind of Mad Maxy, really.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going for. It's because the new Mad Max movie was out, and then I was kind of trying not to be too on the nose with it, like, because I wanted to be that kind of thing, like the Fallout games, or, all the stuff that's post-apocalyptic kind of stuff, Boy and His Dog and that kind of thing. So it could take a few pulls to kind of pull down the gate.
Yeah.
Giving us a chance to like have Reyna or whoever intercept. They're about to break in when Reyna grabs a sword and turns the tide. How does she turn the tide? Does she go out there? Or can she can she remove the hook thing that's gone into the gate, saw it off or something? And then they fire another one, she just saws that off, and then they just give up and go away? Or do we want her to fight them? Like she could borrow a motorbike and a lance or a sword, and then joust against the leader of the causeless rebels and defeat him.
That's funny. Yeah.
And if she ramps over the parapet to land on the other side, or is that too dramatic? Because I'm just thinking the gate is closed for a reason. So how does she get out?
The castles have sally ports. So potentially this one has a sally ramp.
She'd have to get. Did we come up with a name before?
Didn't see one in the last episode.
Their leader, Mordred.
I've forgotten that
then. So do we want her to kill him, or just like knock him off his motorbike, and then he goes, "Hey lads, let's get out of here," or something? Like if she disarmed him, or injured him or knocked him off his bike or something, I think then that gives her more of a enemy later.
Yeah.
So she jousted against Mordred, and after 3 runs, knocks him off his bike. Mordred runs away and gets on the back of another bike to flee. His rebels join him, leaving the gate alone. Arthur thanks her and says she should be their guest for a feast. Rhaena says she and Elijah need to get back. King Arthur says it'll be sunset in a short while, and traveling across the desert isn't recommended at night. I was kind of so tempted to put in the Dune giant worms, but anyway. You need to move out of rhythm in order to avoid them. Anyway, but I avoided that. I thought that was too on the nose. Rhaena reluctantly agrees to stay overnight. She and Elijah get drunk at the feast. They go to the parapet for privacy. A giant bird swoops out of the darkness and plucks Elijah away, flying off of them. Rhaena runs down to her bike and demands to be let out. Arthur tells her it's highly dangerous to go out there at night. Rhaena says she's not about to let Elijah get eaten.
Yeah.
So, that was Rhaena. Ballet walks over to Angel Tune and touches her shoulder, checking she's real. Angel says she heard he likes her music. In thinking about it, so we need some kind of something in the way of Rhaena or not Rhaena, Angel and Ballet's relationship. So maybe Angel is completely baffled and confused. Like if I'm kind of second guessing myself now, that if she doesn't know what's going on, maybe that's more interesting than her saying she already knows she already knows that he likes her music and kind of knows what's going on.
Yeah.
So if she's like, what is this place? Who are you? And Ballet then enthuses about her music like a super fan. That kind of makes him like a creepy stalker dude, and if she doesn't know what's going on, she would then be very wary, I think. Maybe even try and
if we're going to go that way, then I'm not sure they should end up together, because I really don't like the Twilight, I like watching you while you sleep thing. Because if he's creepy stalker dude, then I don't really want to be enabling creepy stalker dude behavior.
No, that was what I was saying. Like I was saying that she thinks he is. So she, as far as she's aware, presumably she's a reincarnation, or after or before she was, however she was killed. I don't know. We haven't worked out how she died. So she's like, hey, I was just on Rigel 7 doing a concert. I went back to my dressing room and now I'm in this middle of this weird garden. So she's like, well, someone must have drugged me. She thinks it's kind of like misery, like she's some super fan has drugged her, taken her to some weird garden and like is stalking her. And she then tries to escape and then slowly recognizes the fact that, how would she realize that she actually died and she's come back then? And we don't need to work that out, but it's just, I thought that, I'm thinking now that might be more interesting than just she's automatically in love with him and he's obviously in love with her.
Yeah,
more of a barrier.
More drama. I'm in favor of more drama.
Yeah. Kumihos. Do we want... Maybe we just want to leave them there for the moment, since we're only doing a catch-up in this episode for Ballet.
Yeah.
Like, I'd say then Angel's going to run into some kind of trouble and he's going to save her, or they're going to save each other or something, and then go back to the garden where it's safe as night falls. And she asks what's going on. Is she still woozy from the drugs or something, I guess. Anyway, but that's for the next episode.
Yeah.
Okay, Connor. Connor sees the whale vomit out a beast, the head of an ostrich, body of a hamster, and legs of a sausage dog. The monster turns for him and runs towards him. Connor runs away in panic. He runs through the trees, his terrified mind searching the trees for more hamsters. A spear thunks into the tree in front of him. Connor skids to a halt and sees humanoid hamster warriors riding towards him. They throw a net and catch him up, just like in Planet of the Apes.
Yeah.
Connor screams incoherently as they strap him to a horse and ride away. They take him to a village where Humanster, which was the name I came up with for humanoid hamster hybrids. I don't know if that's good or bad.
I didn't get it straight away. It took me a beat to work out what it was. So I don't know if it's clear enough.
Well, I mean, we could explain it more in the actual book.
But once you get it, it's a good name. So if we explain what it is,
like Connor can just think it.
Yeah.
So humanoid hamster, I'll call them humansters.
Yeah.
They take him to a village where humanster children laugh at him. Take him to a cage, they tear off his shirt and throw him in with the other humans. Connor waits for the humansters to leave and then tries to talk to the other humans. The other humans seem to be mute. A humanster in a white coat approaches and stares at him. She calls him Bright Abs. I just like that. I thought that was... I was very pleased with myself when I came up with
that was funny. Do we want some really silly reason for why they tear off his shirt?
Yeah, I think the sillier the better. Maybe they could say clothes are just for... No, because then they tear off all his clothes. Shirts are just for hamsters or something like that, humansters.
Yeah.
Or maybe the doctor's going to examine you, so we can't have this stupid clothing in the way.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't spell. I really can't spell. There we go. Skulls and Bright Apps. So what happens next? I think then we need to kind of diverge from Planet of the Apes, so we'll just be completely copying it.
Yeah.
So Skulls and Bright Apps, and then maybe humans are like the equivalent of rats or monkeys, like they're lab test animals. So she makes Connor run a maze or something like that.
Yeah.
Like, so, or exercises him on a giant wheel, but that's like, I'm just thinking of hamster stuff.
What would be the purpose of him being on a giant wheel, though? I mean, there can be a silly reason, but there needs to be some reason other than just hamsters have wheels, because hamsters in the wild don't have wheels.
Could it be power? Could they be powering the humanster village by having the humans run on wheels to generate electricity?
Yep. That would work.
Like, we could do both even. We could say they have to do a shift on the wheels, and then the most promising of them get taken to do lab experiments, essentially.
Yep.
And then, of course, we can have like she can be the kind experimenter who just wants to figure out how fast humans can adapt to new situations or whatever. And then there's another guy who wants to, you know, test diseases on him or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay. What do we want as his reward? Some cheese?
I'm tempted to have him find a bunch of grapes.
Okay.
Obviously, my wife is giggling.
Okay. What's the significance of grapes? I'm missing it. Because you're eating grapes there?
No. Hamsters can eat an entire bunch of grapes without swallowing because their cheeks expand. So the hamster's face just gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and the grapes disappear.
Yeah, he can certainly he can find grapes. That's fine. He finds the grapes. Then so do we want a name for the doctor? Do we want a hamster name for the humansters, or do we want what were the names in Zira? And they sound kind of Greek, don't they?
Dr. Zeus.
No, not the 2001 disaster. Cornelius, Zira, Dr. Zeus, they seem Greek kind of names, ancient Greek, I think. Nova, Lucius, Maximus, Julius. Oh, ancient Roman then, I guess. Do we have that in Scrivener? Email. Ancient Roman. Blatta. And the second one's pretty unfortunate as well, Lesbia. Camelina is quite nice. Peregrina. That sounds familiar. I don't know where I've seen that before. Faustina. Oh, we're getting repeats. I don't think they have that many. Karina's quite nice too. Any preferences?
Faustina's bad for a good character.
There's Katia, which would be interesting if every time someone says her name, all the humansters go, where? As if thinking it's a cat. I don't know. Maybe that's too silly.
No, that's got a certain humor value to it.
Okay, I just opened the encyclopedia. So maybe I didn't create anything for Land of Nod yet, so we'll put that in. Okay, now it's going to have trouble because it thinks it needs to show everything. Oh, come on, computer. we want to switch the surname? Virgilius. I guess that's okay. Okay, so Dr. Katia Virgilius. They take him back to the cage. Then, I guess someone else needs to turn up then to take him to power the place. Manlius. Sorex is a good name too.
Tecmus Piscinius. Dead fish.
What? Is that on my screen or yours?
It doesn't actually mean dead fish. It's surprisingly close.
Well, we can use it. What was it? Decimus
Piscinius.
Is that correct spelling? Or probably spelled it horribly.
And that's okay. That's it'd be a joke then. It's good enough.
So that's a good place to stop Connor, I think. He's just running around the wheel.
Not too much.
Topic. The camp is calm. The whale hasn't arrived yet. So we're kind of further back in time. Topic sneaks away into the woods. If he has godlike powers, he intends to take them out, try them out away from human eyes. He finds a quiet spot and stares at a tree. You can't get it to turn into a small robot because they can't destroy things.
Yeah.
Staring at the ground nearby, he conjures up a robot. The robot says, "Kill all humans," and tries to stab him. Topic runs away, cursing the robot and telling him he's not human. The robot turns and glides off after some other target, which we find out later. Topic reasons that he just needed to create something smarter that will realize what he really is. He hurries to the edge of the forest and stares out onto a plain. As he looks, a gleaming metal city appears, everything perfectly symmetrical. Then he conjures up some smarter robots. The robots approach him and ask him to go with them. So then I wasn't sure. Do they like him, hate him, humor him since he can create things? If they're, I presume he's made them smarter than him. If he said, okay, they need to be super, super smart, I'm going to give them an IQ of 1,000, so they'd be a fraction of mine, but still very smart. And then, you know, his real IQ is not even close to 1,000, so they're smarter than him. Or are they normal human level intelligence? What do you think?
Don't know.
I guess we want them to be outwitted later if they are going to kill all humans or try and kill humans.
Well, this higher IQ and more capable, different things. And they could have immensely high IQ, but be very impractical. No common sense. Because Topic fails a lot, despite actually being smarter than most of the crew. So is there something funny in a civilization of Topics who get outwitted by Topic himself as a human? without Topic as a human ever working out that that's why his plans kept failing.
Yeah, that'd be good. Especially if they're all like him. So he says he hates all humans and likes all AIs, but really he hates everyone.
Yeah.
So if they're the same as him, they hate everyone too. And then they keep saying they want to kill all humans, but then will be undercutting each other's plans because they want to be in charge.
Yeah.
And end up just ruining their own plans. Okay, that's good, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, so what do we want to happen then in the robot city? So presumably they take him to the central command or whatever, I guess. And then I guess there's a president or a leader or something, so that they'll all want to be in charge and take his job.
Yeah.
Leader's confused, says Topic. So, taking central command, the leader says he wants to kill all humans. Topic says he wants that too. Leader is confused and says Topic is a human. And then I reckon the leader is kind of condescending and says, "Oh, of course you're not a human. How about you help us?" I'm thinking of the original Battlestar Galactica, where they had Balthazar on the side of the Cylons, but they were just humoring him until they were going to, as soon as they killed the last of the humans, they were going to kill him too. So leader is condescending and says, "Of course you're not a human." So they presumably then make plans to kill the humans that there are out in the forest.
Yeah. So that would fit with Topic and Josie meeting up sooner.
Yeah.
Because Baltar was in a lot of episodes for a man who was working for the enemy.
Yeah. So then I almost think that gives us the main bad guy for the season then.
Yeah.
Like that then he's created these robots that want to kill all humans, and then Topic will realize, oh wait, they are going to kill me too. And then he has to kind of work with the crew to help them all get away.
Yeah.
So I think then we kind of leave that there, because we'll have Josie meet up with Topic then in the forest, I guess, the next time we see Topic.
Yeah.
Okay. Doc. Doc sees Topic leaving the clearing, follows him. She sees him staring at the dirt and a robot appearing. Doc is surprised. She tries staring at the dirt and makes her own robot appear. The robot turns, attacking Doc, because it's a copy of what Topic just made. She runs away in the direction of Topic. Topic's bot turns to chase her. Doc runs away from both of them and then realizes she can wish for anything and wishes for a bigger bot to stomp the first two. The bigger bot stomps the first two and then turns to chase Doc. Doc runs again and then imagines a robot hunter. Alan Quartermain, maybe not. I don't know. Someone appears and shoots the bot. Maybe we want our own character rather than just using someone else's.
Yeah, Alan Quartermain didn't really fit. And I like the idea of it being a famous hunter. Alan, Alan Quatermain was a morphine addicted Victorian, so it's not.
Yeah, I wasn't sure because I didn't read those books. I was really tempted to add Flashman from the Flashman books, but that's kind of recent series, like it's 50s, 1950s, I think, and 60s. And I really like those books. And then he was like a crack shot and everything, but a complete coward. But he would then, I don't know what we have Doc look like. Yeah, then we kind of completely lose our genie storyline. Unless, so if it was Flashman and he wanted to sleep with Doc, then he would defend her. I don't know if you read the Flashman books, have you?
I've read some of them, yeah.
So yeah, you know, he's essentially a cad, but his
Yeah.
one weakness is beautiful women.
Yeah, he seems to win just by chance almost.
Yeah, he wins by trying to lose. Basically, he's trying to run away, and then everyone goes, "Oh, you hero! You're the only person to survive that battle. You must have defeated the enemy single-handed." Is kind of the running theme of those books.
Yeah.
But anyway, as I say, they're quite recent, so I think they're probably still in copyright, so probably you can't use Flashman anyway.
Also, that's who Mark's based on, so we don't want to get too convoluted, maybe.
Yeah, true. The alternative is we just come up with our own character rather than coming up with someone famous. Maybe I'll do a quick search though first before I say that. Famous fictional hunters. Catman. Never even heard of Catman. I heard of Catwoman. Anyway, Crocodile Dundee. It would be awesome if we could have Crocodile Dundee, but I don't think he's out of copyright.
No, he's.
But we could make a fictional Australian hunter, loosely based on Crocodile Dundee. If we wanted.
It's not a didgeridoo. This is a didgeridoo.
Yeah, I mean, there might be some gags in that, I think. Okay, so obviously they're normal Anglo names. Normal for me, I guess. So, more Doc's World, I guess, be more appropriate. So, what should we name him? Use Michael Crocodile Dundee. So you could go
Raphael, Uriel.
Muriel. Muriel Wallaby Smith.
Yeah.
Muriel Wallaby Smith. Kind of has a Australian ring to it, I guess. Okay. Muriel Wallaby Smith appears and shoots the bot. He turns to romance Doc, but she looks like... So, is she attractive or is she ugly? I figured she looked like, you know, a hairy Greek dude again or something. Or... I don't think we said... Do we? I'm wondering if we mentioned at the end of season 2 what she looked like then. Because presumably she hasn't had a chance to change her appearance since.
Well, they were going down to a big party in their honor. So I'm assuming that she doesn't look too odd.
Yeah, she probably looks like she probably looks like a beautiful woman, I would guess.
Yeah.
But that could be a problem for Muriel Wallaby Smith. He could be gay. In which case he wouldn't be interested.
Yeah.
Or I don't know. See, I want him to out of the picture, I guess, if we're going to do the genie thing, unless we're going to do, we can drop the genie thing because there's not much of it yet. Like we haven't written anything about it yet, other than planning. So we can make it that it's her in the forest with the robot hunter, and then that would link up with Topic's story, because her and Muriel would then be hunting robots.
Yeah.
Which there seems to be an infinite supply.
Yeah.
It means we lose our whole...
There's probably more run in hunting robots than there is in Doc being trapped in a room of mirrors.
Okay, so we drop the genies then. He turns to romance Doc, and she looks like a beautiful woman after the party.
Yeah.
So maybe they kiss, and then he says, "We better make camp. It's not too long until dusk, or we can have dinner, or they need to hunt for food or something to kind of give Topic time to be making the robot patrols."
Yeah.
I mean, they can sleep together either. We've had plenty of that before, so it's not like it's a series where there's no sex. In fact, there's probably more to that, since Doc has been turned down over and over and over for 2 seasons.
Yeah.
It might actually be a nice moment for her finally to get laid.
Yeah.
So, they make love on the forest floor. When they're done, Doc says she really needed that. Muriel asks how long it's been. She says longer than he can imagine. They go to hunt for food for the evening meal and then set up camp. A robot patrol turns up to ruin things. They fight and kill the patrol, then realize they need to hide for the night. And kind of stop there, I guess, for Doc.
Yeah.
Gina and Mark run from the clearing, fleeing the monsters. Gina and Mark get split up in the forest, as she can run more quickly and fleet-footedly, if that's a word. Gina bounds over tree roots and swings from branches. As she runs past a tree, however, a club swings out and clobbers her. Gina is knocked out. So that was kind of short. I think we don't really go into... Oh, sorry, yeah, I pick it up later. I'm forgetting now. I figured, yeah, okay, now I remember. So I figured if she's been knocked out, we should go to Mark, who was running at the same time as her.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mark loses sight of Gina. Something tells him there's extreme danger ahead, so he veers off. His danger sense tells him he's going the right way. He hears a metallic rattle ahead that his senses reassure him. Mark emerges from the forest to see a slow-moving train rumbling by. Mark's danger sense warns him there's danger approaching behind, so he hops into an open container and closes the door. Someone says hello behind him. I don't know if we want to go into more about Mark there, or if we just want to pick up. It'd probably be more interesting to pick up later when he's already a hobo.
Yeah.
And kind of rather than seeing his transformation into a hobo.
Yeah.
Gina wakes up and finds herself bound to a wooden pole, like an election pole, I've written. That would be interesting. Muscular women are nearby, sitting around a burning fire. Gina calls to them, asking where she is. They tell her that the chief is out on the hunt and will be back soon. Gina waits, and a group of women return with a man swinging from a pole. I've misspelled it again.
You must have been thinking of something.
Yeah, I guess it was the Tory victory. I was writing this at the same time as.
Yeah.
The chief talks to Gina about what? So Gina needs to convince the chief that they're on the same side, I guess.
Yeah.
So I guess the chief would. Is this like the typical 50s thing? I think is that the Amazonian women hate men because they're the oppressors or whatever. That kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I don't think Gina would agree to kill anyone or whatever, but she'd agree that men are pricks and thing. What would be interesting is they never notice your affections, that kind of thing, because she was flirting with Elijah. She frees Gina and tells them they need to hunt the weaker men and make them their slaves. Calling for a feast, men bring out the food and serve Gina. Strangely, one of the men looks a lot like Neil. Did we want to elaborate after that, or we want to kind of leave that as the end of that thread? I don't know if we've got quite a lot of stuff. Like I put in quite a lot of stuff to try and make sure we didn't a short episode again. I think we should easily have 10,000 words in what we've done so far. It's quite a lot of ground covered for everyone.
Yeah, I couldn't think of anything to do with one of them looking a lot like Neil that isn't going to be a whole big chunk. Because either it's, he looks a bit like Neil, goes back to the feast, or she does something. Once she does something, it's going to be chunky. So possibly leave it there.
Like I'm thinking that probably what's going to happen is that so one of the women will then start abusing Neil in some way, the guy that looks like Neil, and then Gina's going to either do the same, abuse the person that looks like Neil, and kind of feel guilty about it, I guess, or try and stop it, in which case she's kind of getting into the politics of the tribe.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll leave that out for the next episode or whatever. The end of the episode, Fluffy talks about how Josie seems happy, but something tells him she's uneasy. However, Fluffy has found an interesting female cat a few doors down. The only problem is the competing Tom at the end of the block. I thought was okay for an ending.
Yeah.
So the other thing I was thinking about was the episodes following. So I'm going to outline episode 3, obviously, this week.
Yeah.
That I thought we start to kind of focus in, because I don't want it to be that every episode is like 20 points of view, because then people are going to get fed up with it. Like, we kind of set up every story now, every crew member. So I thought we concentrate on Josie until Josie resolves her thing. And then, since we've said topics set up the main villain, then Josie goes out to the forest to try and find the others and runs into the robot patrol. And even then, Doc and Muriel could save her from the robot patrol, and then we've got quite a lot of the crew together again to kind of rescue the others. It might be a brief idea. Okie doke. Was there anything else you wanted to cover before I stop the recording?
I don't think so, no. We're good, I think.
Okay. Well, that was the outline for episode 2 of series 3. Thanks everyone for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.